Welcome to our latest video showcasing the revolutionary technology of Virgin Galactic. In this video, we'll take you behind the scenes to see how our unique launch system works and the impact it's having on the space industry. From takeoff to payload deployment, you'll witness the cutting-edge engineering and innovation that sets us apart. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn about the future of space travel with Virgin Orbit. Virgin Orbit. Virgin Orbit is a company within the Virgin Group which provides launch services for small satellites. On January 17, 2021, their Launch Your Own rocket successfully reached orbit for the first time and successfully deployed 10 CubeSats. The company was formed in 2017 to develop the air-launched Launch Your Own rocket, launched from a modified Boeing 747 aircraft named Cosmic Girl. This tandem had previously been a project of Virgin Galactic. Based in Long Beach, California, Virgin Orbit has more than 300 employees, led by President Dan Hart, a former vice president of government satellite systems at Boeing. Virgin Orbit focuses on small satellite launch, which was one of three capabilities being focused on by Virgin Galactic. These capabilities are human spaceflight operations, small satellite launch, and advanced aerospace design, manufacturing, and test. On 30 December 2021, Virgin Orbit became a publicly traded company, symbol VORB, at the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Virgin Orbit underwent a SPAC merger with NextGen Acquisition Corp. TI to become public. From its SPAC merger, Virgin Orbit raised $228 million, or less than half than the $483 million it expected to raise. In August 2021, when the SPAC merger was announced, Virgin Orbit estimated it needed $420 million in cash, starting in the second half of 2021, to reach positive cash flow in 2024. Virgin Orbit held an opening bell ceremony at Nasdaq January 7, 2022 to celebrate going public. A few months before going public, Virgin Orbit was owned by Richard Branson's Virgin Group and the Emirati state-owned Mubadala, which had invested about $1 billion into Virgin Orbit up to August 2021. At the SPAC merger, Virgin Orbit was valued at $3.7 billion in equity. When the SPAC merger was announced in August 2021, Virgin Orbit aimed to be profitable on an EBITDA basis by 2024. The company said it had about $300 million in active contracts and expected its rocket launch business to grow to about 18 launches in 2023. The company expected to have about $15 million in revenue in 2021, with an EBITDA loss of $156 million. However, it aimed at further revenue growth, reaching $2.1 billion in revenue by 2026. In the early hours of 10th January 2023, the company confirmed that their first launch rocket from the United Kingdom had experienced an anomaly and had failed to reach its planned orbit. Launch Your Own is a two-stage orbital launch vehicle developed and flown by Virgin Orbit that began operational flights in 2021 after being in development from 2007 to 2020. It is an air-launched rocket designed to carry small set payloads of up to 300 kilograms, 660 pounds, into sun-synchronous orbit, SSO, following air launch from a carrier aircraft at high altitude. The rocket is carried to the upper atmosphere on a modified Boeing 747-400, named Cosmic Girl, and released over ocean. Initial work on the program was done by Virgin Galactic, another Virgin Group subsidiary, before a separate entity, Virgin Orbit, was formed in 2017 to complete development and operate the launch service provider business separately from the passenger-carrying Virgin Galactic business. The first successful flight was on 17 January 2021, which delivered a payload of 10 CubeSats to low Earth orbit. 3 further launches have since successfully reached orbit. An initial test flight was unsuccessful on 25 May 2020, when the rocket failed to reach space. Launch Your Own was the first all-liquid fueled air-launched orbital rocket. From 2007 to 2015, Virgin had intended Launcher Own to be a somewhat smaller vehicle with a 200 kilograms, 440 pounds, payload to low Earth orbit. In 2015, Virgin modified the vehicle design to better target their intended market and increased the vehicle payload capacity to 300 kilograms, 660 pounds, launched to a 500 kilometers, 310 miles, sun-synchronous orbit, suitable for CubeSats and small payloads. Virgin Orbit is targeting a launch price around $12 million for the rocket. Do you think this video is cool? Then subscribe to my channel. Did you do this? Then I want to thank you very much. I will keep you informed of everything about our universe. Let's quickly move on with the video. Virgin Orbit. What went wrong with the UK's first satellite launch mission? Monday night was supposed to be an historic moment for the UK's space industry, with the first orbital satellite launch from Western Europe. But Virgin Orbit, the company behind the rocket carrying the payload of mixed-use satellites, said the rocket failed to reach its orbital target due to an anomaly. The company said in a statement, at some point during the firing of the rocket's second stage engine, and with the rocket traveling at a speed of more than 11,000 miles per hour, the system experienced an anomaly, ending the mission prematurely. The attempt took off from a small seaside town on the UK's Cornish coast, where final preparations had been made, and crowds of onlookers had gathered ahead of what was supposed to be a milestone moment for the UK's space ambitions. If successful, it would have been the first orbital satellite launch from the UK and Western Europe. All of Virgin Orbit's previous forays into space to deliver satellite payloads had launched from US soil. This launch from Cornwall was the first of what the UK hoped would be a number of launches, with its regulator, the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, processing applications from other locations for further launches, including from a spaceport in the Shetland Islands in the north of Scotland. I look forward to seeing more launches from other UK spaceports over the next year, putting us firmly on the map as Europe's leading destination for commercial small satellite launch, said the UK Space Agency's Deputy Chief Executive Ian Annett ahead of the failed launch, who said it would mark a new era for space in the UK. How did Cornwall swap surfing for space? Spaceport Cornwall is located at a regional passenger airport in Newquay, which is known more for its beaches and surfing scene than its connection to the space industry. The mission was originally planned for late last year, but it was postponed due to technical and regulatory issues. A collaboration between the UK Space Agency, the Royal Air Force, Virgin Orbit, and Cornwall Council, the launch is unique in that a rocket will be fired into space from a repurposed passenger plane. It was the first international launch for Virgin Orbit, the US-based company founded by British billionaire Richard Brandson. How did the launch happen? The Launcher Own rocket and its payload was lifted to around 10,000 meters, around 32,000 feet, on a repurposed Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747 christened Cosmic Girl before being released and blasting off for space. It was carrying several small satellites for civil and defense use in orbit, uses that would have included reducing the environmental impact of production, preventing illegal trafficking, smuggling, and terrorism, and a host of national security functions. Cosmic Girl returned successfully to the landing strip in Newquay. The rocket, however, failed to reach orbit. Virgin Orbit said it ignited its engines and quickly went hypersonic, successfully reaching space. It continued through a successful stage separation and ignition, but an anomaly meant it failed to reach orbit. All eyes were on a launch and its potential significance for the UK's space ambitions and the space industry. A traditional way of launching fixes you in one given location on the planet, and then you have a set of orbits that are associated with that one location, said Omar Hernandez, Director of Mission Management at Virgin Orbit. Did you like this video? Then subscribe to this channel, and feel free to check out my other videos. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon in another video. Stranger Binge, subscribe and find out.